Well, you know, the midterms is coming up very, very fast, ladies and gentlemen, in November. And, you know, they talk about the black vote, and you know how the Democrats have prioritized everybody else over black people. We have seen this in real time. Even the most hardcore of the hardcore Democrat blue bleeding shield cannot deny what has been happening to black people underneath this particular administration. And when we say what's happening to black people, it's black people not getting anything for our community, nothing tangible at all. Of course, their son Van Jones out here to be trying to, hopefully get black people out there to vote for the Democrats. They done, recently I saw in the LA Times, they did a big article on Roland. And I was like, did he say something like, that's newsworthy for him to be in the LA Times? And I saw, because like I said, it just came across, the news feeds. I say, well, I was, kind of, taken aback to see Roland's face on the LA Times. Usually you won't see, that's equivalent like putting Roland on the New York Times, right? So, and I went through that article and I'm like, I was looking for something that maybe he said or something that why he was on the, New York, LA Times. And I'm like, the whole article is not even so much about Roland is what I'm, about to focus on here just for a second. But it was like they was trying to legitimize Roland. And I said, oh, okay. They're trying to, legitimize Roland and try to get more black people to listen to Roland. Because, you have to understand, people like Roland, when you are, in those Divine Nine organizations, or definitely when people like Roland have admitted he's in the boule, then you're vetted, right? You're vetted by white supremacy that you are the safe Negro. I'm not the safe Negro whatsoever. Matter of fact, y'all wouldn't believe that people look at me as a radical. I am one of the most professional guys out there. I do things with excellence. I'm not swinging no flags. I'm not out there pounding pavements. I'm just walking my lane and what I'm called to do. And I'm looked at as a radical. Now, I don't call nobody Simple Simon, MFers. I don't even cuss in my platform. Don't even do that. Don't use racial slurs toward no groups. And yet I've been told numerous of times behind the scenes by people that y'all don't know that got things going on. And I've been told by people you may know, how it just come across to me. And I was like, it makes me just shake my head when I say that. I say, well, I speak for the people. I'm not perfect. In no way, shape, or form I'm perfect. But it's just interesting that they view me that way. And, me being in a suit and tie half of the time. Right. But I guess, my conviction is what scares them, and that I'm not begging them for anything. And then I was also just told recently, you move very strategically, and they kind of bother with this. They people like Roland, he's just looking for, he's looking for his next check. So regardless, they were legitimizing him in the LA Times. And they kind of put out there, it was interesting, all his advertisers. I thought about that for a minute. I say, well, his advertisers are fine with calling black people all those names, but yeah, you can talk down to black people and you're cool. But the moment you talk down to LGBT, anybody else, Jewish people, whatever, he's done. But so they legitimizing Roland in the situation because they're concerned about these midterms. Okay. They're concerned. Now, they said more than 50 organizations are joining forces to mobilize black American voters for the November midterm elections. There were a coalition announcing the launch of a multi-state voter engagement and organizing effort on Monday. So they got 50 organizations, ladies and gentlemen, targeting black voters to get you out to vote for what? And when these people approach you in the street about, hey, are you registered to vote? We got to vote in the election. Ask them this one question. Vote for what? What am I voting for? What am I getting out of it? You show me what I'm getting out of it, because the past 2 years, I haven't got nothing. Past years before that, years for that, 8 years of Obama, I didn't get nothing. I didn't get anything for black people, not people of color, not minorities. That doesn't apply to me. People of color don't apply to me. Minorities don't apply to me. What are you gonna? Is it reparations? Y'all about to pay reparations? Oh, there's other things, that's important. Also we support HR 40. Like, what black folks got to be? Black folks got to take a page from the Republican book. In other words, a lot of Republican voters are single issue voters. If a Republican candidate come up there talking about gun control, they're like, I'm not voting for you. They got a total line about guns. They got a total line. Even if they don't probably agree with it all the way, even if they may agree with some gun control, they still got a total line because the majority of Republican voters going to say, hell no, I'm not voting for you if you don't let me have my gun. And black folks, if you want reparations, I know the message is out there is great. But until you have because it's one thing to have a message online and you're touching people and stuff like that and getting people to repeat things and all that, that's great. But until what's happening online result in real world political consequence, then that's when they're going to listen to you. You understand? You can be on here saying, pay me, cut checks, and you can say reparations. We need this, we need that, until you make it a political reality. Then that's when they're going to listen to you. You understand? So if you want to get their attention, you become a single issue voter. And you say, on a national level, if you're not paying me reparations, I'm not voting for you. Now, locally, you definitely get involved locally with your, sheriff and DA and, your judges, your mayor, your city council, your school board, all this stuff locally. Yes, definitely be involved with the voting of that process. But when it comes to these national elections, though, when it comes to that, when it comes to these senators, when it comes to your Congress people, talking about in Washington, D.C., you need to be a single issue voter. Why the world y'all getting together 50 different organizations to target black people? Where's the 50 organizations to go target Asian Americans? Where's the 50 organizations to go talk to Hispanic Americans? Matter of fact, there's more Hispanics in this country right now than it is black people, because they have just basically opened up the floodgates at the southern border and just let everybody in here from down south. So why don't you go target them? But let's continue. It say the National Unity 2022 Black Voting and Power Building Campaign, or Unity 22, will focus on building a broad intergenerational coalition to maximize resources, provide tools to black voters, and fight back against historic attacks on various rights, according to press release. They said, and I quote, is just not talking about this is what's on the ballot and this is what you should vote. They said, but really, literally organizing as we have been doing the past year. Melanie Campbell, President and CEO of the National Coalition of Black Civic Participation. It said the organization is leading the campaign along with national and state-based partners like the NAACP, the National Urban League, the National Action Network, Black Voters Matter, NARAL, Emily's List, and Building Back Together. Now, none of these organizations have ever contacted me, brothers and sisters. Now, I do a daily program. I talk about things here in America, other countries. Everything is centered. What we do is for black people globally, right? None of these organizations have emailed me. None. None of them say, hey, can we come on the show? We'd like to talk to your audience about, why it is to vote. But see, they don't want to be put in the hot seat, because you come over here, I'll let you come. I'm not going to be rude to you. I'm not going to call you names. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to put your foot to the fire about you telling black people to come out here and vote. Explain to me why. And don't tell me about Trump and him being racist and the Republicans being racist. Every day, black people got to deal with racism. The whole structure of America is racism. Everywhere you go is racist. So telling me about or Trump, telling me about a Republican, that doesn't scare me. Everyday life. If I was scared, I couldn't live everyday life here in America. Don't y'all let these people scare y'all about no Republican. Oh, you don't want the Republicans to get in there. Ooh, something gonna happen. Ooh, they gonna get you. Ooh, they gonna get you. What are they gonna actually do? They haven't been done already in Democrat cities. What are they gonna do? Also, the Republicans gonna get in there and they all gonna march down the street with Klan hoods on. They gonna come to our houses. They gonna try firebombing us. Is that what they're gonna do? Are they gonna be tarring and feathering black people? Like, what are they actually gonna do? Are they gonna start stringing black people up on trees, every weekend What are they going to actually do? I mean, ask them that. Okay, you talk, well, they so against black people. I know the Democrats, they don't, I know they're not perfect, but at least they're not that. No, they may not be open white supremacists, but they hurt us financially and morally more than Republicans could. Because, yeah, you may not call us names. Sure, I agree with that. You may even give us some token positions. I agree with that too. But what you do is let unchecked immigration. That's what you allow. Illegal immigration at that. You give all kind of money to every other group. People not even citizens. Ukrainians, for one. No study, no nothing. You understand what I'm saying? So everybody else get a come up off of our vote. At least with the Republicans, it'll be even. They're not for all this immigration. And then the crazy part is you let all the people in here and all these people want to vote Republican. That's the funny part. And that's why I say you get what you deserve. Notice that Campbell said the groups aim to match or exceed black voter turnouts from the 2018 midterm. Said more than 122 million people cast ballots in 2018's races with a 51.4% turnout rate among black Americans. They said the coalition will kick off a summer of activism in 11 states beginning this week with community events and a call to action on issues ranging from gun safety to voting rights to reproductive rights. Okay, so you pushing gun control, voting rights, and basically you pushing abortion. Let's call it what it is. Now, we know good and well about that situation. That's not an issue for black people. See how out of touch these people are? You see, it will also include a social media campaign called Are You Vote Ready to register and educate voters, and a recruitment drive to poll workers and monitor. Why don't they come educate me? I would love to be educated about, voting and stuff like that. Why don't they come educate me? See, I'm a potential voter. Why don't they come by? They say we're combining our advocacy, if you will, in a real tangible way because you're having these attacks that are falling to the states. They said citing the Supreme Court decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. So the impact is real because on the ground where people are having to deal with this, it plays out where you can't go to that Planned Parenthood clinic because you go in there for more than an abortion. There are other medical needs. Okay, so the deletion mill of Black America is what these people want to go fight for. This is what they want me and you to go out there and vote for. This is what we go and vote for. You're not talking about no reparations, no nothing. But this is what you're going to vote. This is what you're telling us to go vote for. Continuing. Boy, and I wonder, I need to do some research into that person. She part of the Divine Nine because when I started hearing certain things with these shields, I started looking, if you a part of the Boule. Now, I know some of y'all is in the Divine Nine and say, well, I'm not, man, our organization don't do that. We do this in the community. Listen, it's a certain level to the Divine Nine that I'm talking about. We talking about the Boule level, not some of y'all just join and, y'all doing community events, y'all doing your step events, all that, y'all maybe practice some nepotism, in the workforce. No. I'm talking about the next level. You know what I'm saying? But in other words, you have to be a lot of times in the Divine Nine to get vetted, to get certain levels in white supremacy. Just call it what it is. And we talking about historically. She said the campaign, is starting with upcoming primaries in Michigan and Ohio. It will target other key battlegrounds, including Georgia, Florida, Pennsylvania, Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, Maryland, Virginia, and the District of Columbia. So aides say the group hopes to make more than 1 million black voters contacts and train more than 500 youth organizations. Youth organizers. Let me repeat that. I want to make sure I say the right word here. I noticed they didn't say nothing about Texas because they look at Texas as a lost cause and say, yeah, because there's not enough of us here in Texas. So they're like, screw it. Texas is what it is. Because, if you look at the demographics in Texas, it's white and Hispanic. That's, the most population here. It didn't used to be that way, but the Hispanic population is about equal to the white population. That's how much, unchecked illegal immigrants came in here. And most black people is in the, this state for the most part is in Houston, the Houston area, Dallas area, San Antonio area. We kind of like in certain pockets. But you know, you go a little further east of Houston, you're like, well, I'm from Port Arthur, Beaumont, and all in place. A lot of black people over there. So as you get close to Louisiana, so the woman say we have to work together to educate our community on how to protect their vote, because you have all these voter suppression laws on the books. You know, she said, so this will be the first really national election where we're going to see the results. Now they're talking about Biden's approval rating. It basically sucks. You know, they said Biden and Harris are not on the ballot. It said who's on the ballot are Congress people, the governors, and state legislatures. Yes, Biden and Harris is on the ballot, because what they do in the White House make people go out and vote for these other people of their party. Biden, well, I can't even say Harris because she don't even do anything. Biden and his performance affects the party. If he was doing a great job, if he gave black people tangible resources, gave us things that we need and want, I promise you the Democrats will have no problem right now. But Biden went in there and said, F y'all, I ain't doing nothing for you. I'm not doing a thing for you, because all I got to tell you is you don't vote for me, you're not black. And silly black folks went out there and vote for them. Now, she said the coalition will target key demographics, especially young people, where the support for Mr. Biden has also eroded. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. I would love to see, because you know what? You're going to have to come into our world to engage the young people. And you know that our world's the internet, Twitter spaces, or other places like that. They come, and they have been coming. Oh, yes, they have been coming into those Twitter spaces, the Democrat shields. They have been coming in comment sections. They've been coming all over the place, you know, but they really been going to Twitter spaces, because that's what a lot of people been talking. They say, so really trying to educate and motivate to do a peer-to-peer model of young people, really encouraging their peers. And yes, there's disappointment. And yes, we have to keep pushing this administration to do, you know, what they promise and things like that. And that won't stop. So she admits his disappointment. No, ma'am, we're not going to waste our gas and time. No, it ain't happening. No. Them days are done. Get that coalition together and go talk to the Asian community. Go talk to them, because the Democrats have every right to go to the Asian community and ask them to come out and vote because they did something for them. OK, the Ukrainians that you let in here. I don't know if you naturalized them or not, but if you did naturalize them, put a voter registration card in their hand and tell them to go vote. And 9 times out of 10 of Ukrainians probably going to vote Republican anyway. That's the funny. All the people you're importing over here, you're importing Republican voters. That's the really funny part for me about the whole thing. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, they're spending a lot of money in the millions to target you. Why target you, though? Why target black voters? Why? Why do they won't leave black people alone? Why? They don't care about black people. I told y'all. They look at black people as slaves. You go out there and you make their lives better. I'm sorry. I'm not for making nobody else's life better in my community, not getting nothing out the deal. No. How many of y'all have left relationships in the past where you're doing everything in the relationship and the other person does nothing? Eventually you say, okay, man, I'm doing everything in this relationship. You're not doing anything. I'm not going to be in this one-sided relationship. Well, I'm giving my all. I'm, doing this, doing that. And you just take from me and don't give nothing back. Don't reciprocate with me. And that's a relationship black people have with the Democrat Party, or just and not just the Democrat Party, but America in general. America takes from us, take our talent, take our essence, take our fight. Take our spirit, take. What do they give back to us? And then we do say, hey, it's time for you to start anteing up. We need all that back. Plus some. Y'all ain't getting nothing. I don't know why y'all keep asking for reparations. I don't know why y'all keep this, why y'all keep that. Okay, that's fine. No problem. But we need you to still come out and vote, though. Hell no. Go tell all your Democrat shields to go vote. Go tell everybody you gave money to and laws to go vote. You should be having a big campaign to the Asian community, a big one. But you don't have that for them. See, they don't push them to go vote because they can't lean on them about, past trauma and the fight that black people have done in this country to even get treated halfway decent. They can't do that to those other immigrant groups. It don't work. When they go to the other immigrant groups, they have to really tell them why they're going to vote. They can't play this, well, you know, your ancestors died. And, you know, they can't pull the Edmund Pettus Bridge with Asians. They can't pull, you know, John Lewis getting beat up. They can't pull that with them, you know. They can't say, look all these marches. Your people fought and died for that. You know, that's shameful if you sit up there and don't vote. See, they can't pull that with these immigrants. None of them. Even the black ones, they can't pull that with. We're the only unique group that they pull that with because of the history that what we have here in America. And I say, go ask the people you've been doing something for. Leave us the hell alone. The boogeyman thing is not going to work. The being scared of Republicans is not going to work. Listen, we had, 4 years of the Trump administration. If you listen to this podcast, you survived it, didn't you? You survived it. Even during the pandemic, you survived it if you listen to this podcast. You all right. It's been many Republican presidents and Congresses and everything. And if you still here, you'll be all right. Because we are survivors. We can't depend on nobody. The Democrat Party ain't show no loyalty to us at all. None. They come with the same thing. Well, you know, if the Republicans in there, what do you expect them to do for you? What do you expect? Hey, we have never really voted for Republicans in mass to even had that conversation. We always voted Democrat. So why could we even have a conversation? An imaginary conversation that we haven't done nothing for. But, you know, a lot of black people is not going to vote for Republicans. I get that. I get it because, you know, I get it. But, you know, I say if you're not going to vote for them, no problem. Then just chill your nerves. That's the only thing I say about the situation. Chill your nerves. Be single issue voters. Say, hey, I need reparations. It's just that simple. I need reparations, and you're not going to get reparations. I'm not going to vote for you on a national level. Forget it. I just vote locally in my area, in my state. I vote in my state because, like, in my state, we have the governor's race coming up with Greg Abbott and Beto O'Rourke. Now, of course, I do not support, you know, the Democrat Party whatsoever, but Greg Abbott has done too much in this state. With the winter storm, all those people that died in the winter storm, babies froze to death in that winter storm, because this guy did not make sure the power grid was right. Then you have, you know, they claim that, oh, well, our power grid isn't made for that kind of weather. Then when summer rolls around, then it got hot. Oh, we having power grid issues and this and he had all this time to fix the power grid. So people's in the cold and died, and people in this 100-degree temperature right now and dying too. Or you having rolling blackouts in certain areas. Hell, my lights was out for about 2 hours the other day. You know what I'm saying? And it's Greg Abbott with his crap. Instead, he's so worried about everybody walking around here with permitless carry. He's worried about that, but he's not worried about the freaking power grid. That dude got to go. He got to go. It's not even about party for me with that. He just got to go. If there was another somebody else outside of him, that'd be one thing. But he's the one they chose, and it's O'Rourke. I'm saying and I don't agree with the Democrat policies at all. But doggone it, he got to go. I mean, anybody that live in Texas, even if you maybe just moved here, get Greg Abbott out. That dude got to go. And that Dan Patrick, he's an idiot. He's a freaking idiot. And he's actually openly racist at that. He got to go. Both of them need to go. But outside of the Texas governorship and things like that, or local voting, man, Democrats can forget. You know, I'm not voting for them on nothing else. I think that might be the only Democrat I would vote for, just to get Greg Abbott out. And it's not because he's just so mean. It's the fact is he's incompetent. Downtown Houston was lit up with lights while people in Texas during a winter storm had no power for a week. Some people up to 2 weeks in ice cold temperatures. If you didn't have, like, you know, of course I had a generator and all that, so I fared okay. But people that didn't have that, you know, what about them? So that's things we have to think about too, you know, when it comes to, you know, voting in November, at least here in Texas. But yeah, when this comes to this election deal, They're trying to target black people. And black people, until you make them realize that you're not nothing to be effed with, and that's all the time they're going to respect you. For real. Because it does no good that everybody talking online, making Twitter spaces, making videos, all that, if it doesn't come out into real world consequences. Y'all have to make this a movement that don't have a leader, but make this a movement of the code to say, no, if you're not going to give us reparations, we're just not voting for you. That's just that simple. So you'll lose you'll lose here in 2022, and then you got 2 years to try again. And if you choose not to do it in 2024, okay, you'll lose again. It's no problem. There's no problem at all. But I can tell you what, a lot of black men have checked out the process. A lot of black men are actually voting Republican. I'm telling you that. And they really discussing that as a recent about a lot of black men is talking about voting Republican because black men are so sick and tired of the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party is so anti-black male. They really are. They are really anti-black male. They're anti-business. They're anti, forward thinking. They so anti all of that. They are. And whatever you want to say about the Republican Party, yes, they got their redneck white supremacist wing in there, but they do have some things in there that black men care about. Black men care about being men. That's for sure. Black men care about getting the society in order with all these alternative stuff that's going on. Black men don't want to see no reading your children going to events with drag queen stuff. It's a whole lot of things that black men care about. Businesses, keeping business taxes low. Black men care about that. There's a lot of black men out here doing very well for themselves. Don't you get it twisted that black men aren't doing good for themselves here in America. They always want to show you some downtrodden brother or some brother in prison or Pookie and Ray Ray and trying to say that's a representation of black men. There's so many black men I know that's business owners. I know personally in many different fields. And a lot of those black men don't feel the Democrat Party is for them. You can't tell no black man that fight everything he got to fight in America about, just vote for Democrats because they're not going to call you a name. Man, every day in America you called the name. What the hell? It's about getting what benefits you in your business and for your family, etc. I'm telling you, it's a lot of black men. This is more and more black men, and what you think is going to vote Republican and probably in the near future continue to vote for Republican because they're sick of the anti-black male sentiment that's in that Democrat Party. You have to literally be a freaking sellout raccoon for them to care about you or put on a freaking dress. At least in the Republican Party, they're not telling you put on a freaking dress. They're not telling you that, or just straight, openly sell out. That's not being told. Some people sell out because they want to, but you got people who, that care about black folk, fight for black folk, but they just refuse to participate in the Democrat Party. It's just that simple. Because, in this community, if you don't worship white Jesus and Democrat, you'll sell out. That's what you are. And black men every day, and even black women. I've been talking to a lot of black women. They say, man, forget that Democrat Party. Forget them. They betrayed black women. All the way around, they have betrayed black women. You notice they're not telling black women no more. They're the backbone of the party. Why? Because black women have been speaking up and calling their behind out too. But thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on the podcast today. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast. We greatly appreciate that. Click the like button. That way you can help us spread these videos in the algorithm. But, as we, come up on more time before the midterms, you're going to have a lot of these shields that's heavily supported by the Democrats and the millions upon millions of dollars. OK, it's not just Roland. There's many of them. And what we got to do is we got to be like Dikembe Mutombo back in the day. Every time they try to come up, to the goal and try to put something in there, we got to block it and shake our fingers, say, that's how we got to be. You're not coming here with this BS to the people. We got to guard the people ourselves. Those of you who are quickened with the knowledge, guard the people and start swatting that mess down and putting their feet to the fire, completely. And don't let them try to play that game. Well, what the Republicans going to do? That's not even relevant to the conversation. You telling me to come vote? What am I voting for? Period. What am I voting for? Well, what voting is going to do for me today? I'm not wasting my gas or my time. If you can't bring me, if the candidate, not even the person, the candidate can't bring nothing tangible to my community, what's the point?